The light of truth. Justice is often described as blind, but in the Culling Game, it has finally opened its eyes. We left off at the peak of the Tokyo colony's first major crisis. Yuji Itadori, burdened by the guilt of 1,000 souls from Shibuya, stood ready to accept the ultimate punishment. Hiromi Higuruma, the man who turned his grief into a deadly courtroom, held the executioner's sword. A blade that leaves no room for mercy. But as the light of the sword flickered against Yuji's honesty, something shifted. The law is a system of rules, but humanity is a system of emotions. Today, the courtroom dissolves, the sword vanishes, and a new alliance is forged in the ashes of a broken system. Welcome to episode 4. Sometimes, the only way to find justice is to break the law. Scene 1. The Disappearing Blade. The episode begins in that heart-stopping second where Higuruma's sword is inches from Yuji's heart. The air is thick with the hum of the executioner's light, but suddenly, the glow fades. The sword shrinks and disappears back into the gavel. Higuruma deactivates his domain expansion, and the floating courtroom shatters like glass, dropping them back into the silent, dusty theater. Yuji is gasping for air, his body trembling from the readiness to die. Higuruma sits on the edge of the stage, looking exhausted, not like a victor, but like a man who has finally seen the truth. "I can't do it," Higuruma whispers. He explains that according to his own research and the laws he once swore to protect, a person is not responsible for the actions of a curse possessing them. Sukuna's massacre was not Yuji's choice. By confessing, Yuji proved he was the only innocent person left in a world of monsters. Higuruma realizes that his own hands are far bloodier than the boy he was trying to execute. Scene 2. The Philosophy of the Fallen. The two sit in the dimly lit theater, and for the first time, they talk not as player and prey, but as two victims of Kenjaku's game. Higuruma shares his past. How he tried to save an innocent man in the real world, only to have the corrupt judges ruin a life for the sake of statistics. He admits that he entered the Culling Game and started killing because he thought the world was beyond saving. But seeing Yuji's selflessness changed him. "You're a better man than any judge I've ever met," Higuruma admits. Yuji tells him about Sumiki, Megumi's sister, and the need to add a rule to the game to stop the senseless killing. Higuruma, moved by the mission, decides to use his 100 points. He calls his Kogain, and in a moment that echoes through every colony in Japan, the first major rule change is announced. Players can now transfer points to one another. Higuruma sends his points to Yuji, entrusting him with the future of the game. Scene 3. Megumi's desperate gambit. While the announcement of the new rule reaches Yuji, the scene cuts back to Megumi Fushiguro, who is in a much more violent situation. He is being relentlessly pursued by Reginald Starr and his team. The gymnasium where Megumi sought refuge has become a death trap. Reginald is materializing everything from wooden houses to truckloads of iron using his contractual recreation, trying to crush Megumi's spirit. Megumi is bleeding heavily. His cursed energy is dangerously low. He realizes that his good guy persona won't win this fight. He remembers Gojo's advice about being more selfish, more greedy for victory. The shadows beneath his feet begin to ripple and expand, covering the entire floor of the gymnasium. The air turns cold, and the sound of 1,000 scratching claws fills the room. Megumi isn't just defending anymore. He's preparing to unleash the darkness he's been suppressing for far too long. Scene 4. The Chimera Shadow Garden. Reginald senses the change in the atmosphere and tries to strike, but it's too late. Domain expansion. Chimera Shadow Garden. Megumi screams, blood dripping from his mouth. The interior of the gymnasium is consumed by a sea of thick, black liquid. This isn't like Higuruma's orderly court. This is a chaotic, visceral nightmare. Reginald's materialized objects sink into the shadows, rendered useless as they are swallowed by the infinite depth. Megumi creates multiple clones of himself, moving with a speed that rivals Toji. He uses the shadows to hide, to strike, and to overwhelm. This scene is a masterclass in animation, showing the raw, unrefined power of the Zenin bloodline. Reginald, the man who thought he was the hunter, realizes he has stepped into the lair of a wolf. The weight of the shadows alone begins to crush Reginald's physical body. Scene 5. The final confrontation with Reginald. The battle reaches its climax as the domain begins to take its toll on Megumi's body. He can't hold it forever. In a final, brutal exchange, Megumi uses a combination of Max Elephant and Mu to trap Reginald. He drops a massive weight. Not of a physical object, but of his own cursed pressure. On Reginald. Reginald is defeated, his receipts burned, and his spirit broken. As he lies dying in the receding shadows, he looks at Megumi with a strange, haunting smile. "You're a monster, kid," he coughs. Before he dies, he warns Megumi that the Culling Game is just a ritual for something much bigger. A fusion that will end the world as they know it. He leaves Megumi with his remaining points, a final gift to the sorcerer who actually had the fever to win. Megumi collapses, barely clinging to consciousness. Scene 6. The Angel in the Sky. The episode shifts to the aftermath. Yuji and Higuruma have parted ways on good terms, with Higuruma promising to stay in the colony to help manage the points and find a way to end the game legally. Yuji is running through the streets, desperately searching for Megumi. He sees the smoke rising from the gymnasium and heads toward it. But high above the city, silhouetted against a pale moon, a figure descends. It's a woman with 4 massive angelic wings. The one known as Angel. She lands softly near the exhausted, unconscious body of Megumi Fushiguro. She looks down at him with an expression that is neither kind nor cruel. The vessel has been found, she says, her voice echoing with a celestial reverb. Back with Yuji, his Kogane screen glitches. A new message appears. A rule breaker has been identified. Subject, the Fallen. Inside Yuji, Sukuna's mouth opens on his cheek, a wide, terrifying grin spreading across his face. So, the fly finally enters the web. Sukuna rasps. The screen fades to black as the holy light of the angel begins to engulf the area. The final suspense. The lawyer has been redeemed, but a deity has descended. The angel's intent. Is she here to save Megumi, or to purge the world of Sukuna's presence by any means necessary? The Fallen. Who is the Fallen? And why does Sukuna seem so excited for this confrontation? The next mission. Now that the point transfer rule is active, how will our heroes use it to save Sumiki? If you're hyped for the meeting of the angel and the king, smash that like button and subscribe. The Culling Game has just entered its most mysterious phase. Press the bell icon for episode 5, where the heavens and the earth collide. Do you think the angel is a friend or a foe? Let us know your theories in the comments. End of episode 4.